Knowledge is a dangerous thing within One Piece. Those who know too much or possess forbidden information may find themselves facing the total annihilation of their island and people, as the scholars of Ohara and more recently the renowned Dr. Vegapunk have unfortunately discovered. Even Nico Robin from the Straw Hat Pirates had to spend her life on the run from the world government, who was determined to eliminate a child just for her ability to read the poneglyphs. As I detailed in my video discussing Nico Robin's backstory, she had found out that the only way to guarantee your own safety when possessing knowledge beyond your station is through overwhelming strength. And this brings us nicely onto the character that I want to talk about in this video, Redhead Shanks. For most people, Shanks ranks highly as one of the most mysterious characters in all of One Piece, with his motives, goals, relationships, and even strength being a point of major debate for One Piece fans. And Shanks' mystery is only highlighted by the limited number of appearances that he has had, having appeared in only 24 chapters out of nearly 1,100 released as of making this video. His every appearance has typically been marked as a significant event in the series, whether that be the start of the story, a new bounty for Luffy, the Marineford War, or more recently the onset of the final stretch of the series as a whole. His far-reaching influence within the story greatly contradicts the laid-back demeanor he has typically portrayed, while his near 40 years worth of experience sailing the seas will have undoubtedly granted him with a level of knowledge that only few people could have. In this video, I want to unravel one of the many mysteries surrounding this enigmatic emperor and propose what I believe is the forbidden knowledge that Shanks holds, which I believe is the reason why he was allowed an audience with the Five Elders. Now, before delving fully into this theory, we must first establish Shanks' character in order to rule out any other aspects of his persona that may have granted him with such high esteem and a strong reputation. We're going to start with the most apparent trait that he has, which is his utterly monstrous level of strength. Chapter 1079 reveals that the fleet of the Redhead Pirates is in fact quite weak, and it consists mostly of pirate crews that have not been able to survive in the New World without Shanks' protection. This could be considered an even more impressive display of Shanks' power than anything else. While Kaido had created artificial devil fruits to bolster his vast army, and Big Mom had bought 85 children to contribute to his strength, Shanks relies solely on his own prowess and that of his direct crewmates. Although we haven't seen much of Shanks in actual combat, aside from a brief encounter with Whitebeard, recent chapters showcase his abilities. He scares away Marine Admiral Ryukoku with just his presence and immense conqueror's haki, and he is able to defeat Captain Kidd and Killer in just one blow after they had significantly contributed to Kaido and Big Mom's defeat. These feats also appear in the recently released One Piece film Red, where Shanks wields a flaming sword and seemingly defeats Admiral Kizaru in a single exchange. The film also reveals his seemingly unique ability to control his presence so that others cannot foresee his actions. While not covered in this video, the strength of Shanks' crew is also notable. Yasop's future sight is considered one of the strongest globally, and Ben Bachman's haki is among the most powerful of all of the Yonko first mates. This doesn't even include crewmates like Lucky Roo, Lime Juice, Bonk Punch, Building Snake, and others who had intimidated 3 entire factions during the Marineford War's climax. Besides strength, we must also consider Shanks' prestige, starting with a theory about his background. Shanks' past has always been unknown, but One Piece Film Red provides more information about his early life than ever before. The film reveals that Shanks was found as a baby in a chest by Goldie Roger in God Valley. This had happened after Roger's confrontation with Rocksteady Zebek. Additionally, it introduces the Figureland family, a celestial dragon family which the Gorosei, one of the world government's leading powers, seems to suggest Shanks may be a part of. Now, this could have significant implications regarding the knowledge that Shanks possesses. If he comes from a celestial dragon family, then it's possible that this knowledge is exclusive to only celestial dragons. However, the likelihood of this is pretty slim, as Shanks was way too young when he was discovered by Roger in order to have retained any knowledge from an earlier point in his life. And it could also be argued that if such a knowledge had existed, then the Donkyo family members who had left Merijo, including Doflamingo, wouldn't have been allowed to do so. However, celestial dragon families might have a hierarchical structure within themselves, with the 5 families containing Gorosei members being more knowledgeable than the other 14 families. What we do know for certain is that Shanks' prestige enabled him to meet directly with the Gorosei, as seen in chapter 907. He was granted an audience with a group that has only been shown to meet with a select group of people, the monarchs of countries under their rule, as well as the mysterious Im, and it's insane that Shanks was able to speak to them, and it's far beyond anything that we would have expected from any pirate, even a Yonko. The only situation in the series so far that compares to a pirate despite receiving the world government's full cooperation, is the mass media manipulation carried out at Doflamingo's request during the Dressrosa arc. Although Doflamingo had some status as a warlord and king of a country under the world government's banner, these factors shouldn't have granted him the level of influence that he had utilized. His former celestial dragon status shouldn't have played a role either, as they wouldn't have allowed the Donkyo family to return to Merijo or grant them privileges that are exclusive to the Holy Land residents. Doflamingo's influence is explained by his discovery of secret knowledge within Merijo, giving him immense bargaining power against the world government. This information was so powerful that he had fully expected to be assassinated in Impel Down in order to prevent its spread. He also mentions that if Trafalgar Law, the Surgeon of Death, had accompanied him to Merijo, then he could have become the most powerful man in the world. This leads us to theorize what this knowledge could be, with two possibilities appearing most likely. First is the existence of Im, an enigmatic figure at the top of the One Piece world's power hierarchy. Im's abilities are unknown, but they possess the right to sit at the empty throne and are capable of destroying the entire Lelusia kingdom from a great distance. If Doflamingo knew of Im's existence or capabilities, it could be dangerous enough to warrant special privileges from the world government. Furthermore, if Law had been with Doflamingo, he could have used the Opi Opi no Mi's personality switching ability in order to transplant Doflamingo's soul into Im's body, indirectly making Doflamingo the most powerful man in the world. The second possibility is the existence of an extremely powerful weapon which has been hidden deep within Merijo. This weapon could be the giant straw hat, though its specific abilities remain unknown, or another weapon responsible for Lelusia Kingdom's destruction. Knowledge of this weapon's existence would pose a danger to the world government if it's considered a trump card. Now, this information would be detrimental to those in power, and it could also inspire attempts to access, steal, or use the weapon by those ambitious enough to infiltrate Merijo, which has in the past been achieved by Doflamingo, Fisher Tiger, and possibly Bartholomew Kuma, depending on current manga events. The Revolutionary Army with its resources might also attempt to claim this weapon if they are aware of its existence. However, such a valuable weapon would undoubtedly be protected by the highest security measures, which may easily be bypassed if the user possesses a devil fruit that allows teleportation of oneself, others, and objects within a given range. Something like the Opi Opi no Mi is capable of doing this. So if Shanks has similar dealings with the world government as Doflamingo, then what leverage might he have over them to allow him such freedom to sit with the Five Elders and to speak with them? Although this was mentioned earlier, Shanks' personal strength may be a factor in the world government's treatment of him. However, I find it hard to believe that they would have extended a similar invitation to Kaido, Big Mom, or Blackbeard, who are arguably just as strong. We could consider Shanks' reputation, which seems to be quite good, until we remember that Shanks had stolen the Hito Hito no Mi model Nika from the world government's possession 15 years ago, which they likely haven't forgotten. The only other reason I can think of for Shanks' unique position with the world government is blackmail, and the only thing that he could use as blackmail is a secret that they want to keep hidden. While this could be something similar to Doflamingo's knowledge, I suspect that it's something even more dangerous, and I have three leading possibilities in mind. The first builds upon my initial theory about Doflamingo's knowledge of Im's existence, and it takes it a step further. I think that Shanks not only knows about Im, but also knows their true identity. Speculation about Im's identity have been widespread since the character's introduction, ranging from unlikely Rocksteady Zebek to intriguing Luffy's mother to amusingly even Buggy. However, every guess is just speculation at this point. We haven't been given enough information to form a coherent idea of who this mysterious figure may be. This doesn't mean that the same holds true for Shanks. Knowing the identity of the most powerful hidden figure in the world will likely grant him leeway with the world government, who would be cautious of any potential damage that he could cause. The second possibility looks back over 800 years to the events of the Void Century. The world government fiercely guards any knowledge relating to the Void Century, even committing genocide to ensure its secrecy. This point needs little further explanation as to why the world government would be cautious if Shanks had information about the truth behind this lost era. I don't see them going through such lengths in order to protect something that didn't pose a risk to them. This possibility is slightly complicated by the fact that knowledge about this time period appears to be locked behind the Pornoglyphs language. So far, only Nico Robin and members of the Three-Eyed Clan have been shown to be capable of deciphering it. How Shanks and his crew would have obtained such knowledge remains a mystery. Now, the final and in my opinion most likely possibility is that Shanks knows the truth about the One Piece. He has already openly stated in the manga that it might be time for his crew to claim the One Piece, possibly suggesting that he already knows what it is. While this would be expected given his membership in Goldie be Roger's crew, when they had reached Laugh Tale, Shanks never actually had set foot onto the island, having stayed behind on the ship with Buggy. This could also connect with one of the more peculiar comments made about the One Piece, where Roger was told and later mentioned that they were too early. Chapters 967 and 968 seem to imply that it is only after the birth of Poseidon and another king in 10 years time, and following that another 15 years after that for them to grow strong, that a major event will happen. The current One Piece timeline is exactly 25 years after this had taken place, meaning that time in question is now upon us. It is possible that the One Piece, whatever it may be, can be only accessed once a specific time has been reached, which Shanks has patiently been waiting for all this time. Regardless, the knowledge Shanks possesses must be something that could cause immense damage to the world government's stability, and therefore the Celestial Dragons. Since I don't personally believe that Shanks is strong enough to do this on his own, he must have knowledge that, if acted upon, could lead to the current world structure's downfall, either by destroying the citizens' trust in the world government, by perhaps revealing information from the Void Century to show that they were the villains all along, or physically and irreparably by changing the world as we know it, by fulfilling the Red Line collapse theory. This raises the question, why hasn't Shanks actually done anything with the knowledge that he has? If the Revolutionary Army had something capable of a similar effect, they may well have already won their battle against the world government. The only logical and sensible justification is that Shanks doesn't believe the resulting chaos will be worth it. The One Piece world is currently balanced on a razor's edge, with nearly every major pirate wanting to push it over. Trafalgar Law stated as much in his speech at Punk Hazard, and Doflamingo declared the same in Impel Down. Blackbeard, Kaido and Big Mom all schemed to make it happen, while the Straw Hats have always inadvertently disrupted the status quo. From what we've seen so far, Shanks seems to be trying to maintain peace in the world for as long as possible. He had attempted to convince Whitebeard to stop Ace from pursuing Blackbeard, aware of the future Yonko's strength as well as the stakes that were at play. He then tried to stop the Marineford War from escalating further due to Kaido's potential involvement, and later had tried to end it entirely. Post timeskip, his actions have mostly followed this pattern, with his meeting with the Gorosei and his involvement in Wano and Elbaf showing a desire to protect any dominant force from abusing their power. However, his declaration to Ben Beckman that it might be time for them to claim the One Piece could potentially counter this theory. Now I'm really interested in hearing what all of you think about Shanks, and what information he knows that could pose a threat to the dangerous figures within the world government. So if you have your own theories about how Shanks was able to meet with the Gorosei, or if you support one of the ideas that I've proposed within the video, then definitely let me know by leaving a comment under this video. If you enjoyed these One Piece theories and want more of them, then definitely subscribe and turn on the bell notifications so that you don't miss my next upload. Lastly, thank you for making it to the end of this video, and I can't wait to see you in my next One Piece video.
If you enjoy my content, then you can support my channel through Patreon for as little as $1 a month, or even through YouTube by becoming a channel member. You will gain access to exclusive channel perks and a Discord server which I frequently use. So become a member of my Zero Division and be the first to know about my upcoming videos. And once again, thank you for sticking around till the end of the video, and whatever you contribute will mean a lot to me.